Welcome back, everybody, to Owen's Exhibit. We're here with a special guest. His name is Twondon. Do you want to let the listeners know what you do and where you're from?
Twondon from Jersey, Englewood, musician, designer, and just overall like creative.
Great. I'm so glad to have you on the episode today because I feel like you really embody what this podcast is about. About entrepreneurship, about being creative, about putting your foot in the door and really making stuff happen. And I want to start out this episode by asking you a few icebreaker questions just to really get to know your personality outside of some of the things that you're doing. So can you let me know, do you like waking up in the morning really early, or do you enjoy working hard at night?
Yeah, I'm not really a morning person at all, to be honest. Like, even like, for example, I wanted to like start getting up early and start going to the gym, but I just can't find myself to do it. If it's about a bag, I get up in the morning, but I'm more like night. Like, my thoughts run better, my creativity run better at night. Like, I was just telling them in the car, I was up to like 4:30 in the morning last night, but that's just when I get the creative juices flowing a lot more, to be honest. Yeah.
What are your hobbies?
My hobbies, designing, working out, shit. I don't know if I could count like music and all that as a hobby, but
I guess
just
things
like
with,
more designing, working out and shit
what
like
are
that.
things that you do in your life that don't have a lot of intention to them? You just do them for the enjoyment.
That's rare, bro, to be honest, because like I think it's something I need to start picking up on and start doing, but like everything I do is like intentional. Like, I don't go a day without thinking about the next move when it comes to like clothing or like music or like even with the gym. Like, I just like overexert myself because like anything I feel like I'm gonna do, I'm gonna like just go dumb hard like doing it. So I don't know, hobbies, I don't know, probably biking. I used to be like riding my bike a lot too. That's more like on the health side. And just going out. I say going out like Ian. I think it's a Terrier. It's in one of my photo shoots for my last collection. Yeah, it's like a mountain bike and shit.
You know how to wheelie?
Nah, I don't know how to wheelie a bike. Nah.
It's difficult. You got to put a lot of time into it. I'm trying to learn that too. How about your favorite sauce?
My favorite sauce? Probably barbecue sauce.
What are you putting it on?
Fries.
Everything?
Yeah. Chick-fil-A shit. Yeah. Anything like nuggets, like little shit like that. Yeah.
What movie do you wish you had a role in?
What movie I wish I had a role in? Shit. I don't know. Probably like Wolf of Wall Street or some shit.
Yeah.
That shit was fire. Yeah.
What's a phrase or word that you frequently use?
Son, a lot. You dig, or you get me, like you feel me, like I use that a lot. UpperClass, I say that a lot. Yeah.
What do you think is the best way to listen to music?
I think it varies on like the environment, bro. I feel like there's no better time to listen to music than like in the comfort of your own environment. Just so you could really like soak it in and really get an idea of what you're listening to. But I also think it's the environment. Like, if you're in a whip and it's late, then you're gonna listen to something that you could just cruise to the crib with. If you're in a party mode, then you listen to something that's gonna like get you more like turned up. Or if you're getting dressed, you listen to some fly shit. I think the environment. I think it's based on the environment.
Yeah. What's your favorite breakfast food?
My favorite breakfast food? Probably a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. I shouldn't even be eating cheese like that. But sometimes I just still like go for it. But probably that. Nah. You know what? Nah. Like French toast with some turkey bacon and like mass syrup on that shit and like 2 scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Facts.
I
wish I had that this morning. I ain't gonna front.
Next time, I'll have that ready for you.
Yeah,
thank you. I'll get Liam to chef it up. I guess I've forgotten to like tell people how I meet my guests. So this one in particular.
Oh, and Belgian waffles.
Belgian waffles.
Yeah, I like those a lot too.
We'll have that next
with
time.
some like fruit cut Yeah, facts.
So you're a breakfast person.
Yeah, I fuck with breakfast OD.
Yeah.
Yeah, brunch, all that.
What I wanted to say was Liam, my new roommate, had the opportunity to connect us, and how you guys met was how?
Damn. So me and Liam's story go like way back, probably like almost a decade, to be honest. So MySpace time. So he's a graphic designer and does illustrations and shit like that. So my first introduction to him was during like the MySpace like times and era and shit like that, and he had did like a graphic on me, but I didn't know who did it at the time, and I was just putting it as like my profile picture because it was just mad dope, and it was the first time I saw myself as like a cartoon or like as an illustration. So I used to go around my city or my town where I'm from in Inglewood, and I used to like sell CDs and shit. And then I had went to Ben and Jerry's just to go in there, like not to sell anything, but just to go in there because it's just like, I was just like tired of walking around and shit. And Liam was in there, like he's working there. And then he was like, oh shit, like I know you from like doing music and shit like that. And he had told me that it was him that did that illustration that I was using as like my profile pic and shit. So I gave him like a free CD as like an appreciation or whatever the case may be. And then I think like 3 or 4 years go by, and then he hit me on Facebook. And he was like, yo, if you ever need anybody to shoot videos, like, I could be that guy. But I didn't need anybody at the time to do like videos. I just needed more like graphic work. And then we started getting like close because of that. And then eventually, like, we'll meet up at like a local Starbucks and everything like that. Cause I was super like skeptical of like having people come into the crib or like people knowing where I live at and shit. So we'll meet up at like Starbucks and all that shit. And then we eventually just got mad cool throughout time. And then he ended up just doing like everything for me, bro. I'm talking about for the clothes, for the music, flyers, like even like the artists at the time that was with UpperClass, he'd take care of their shit too. It just became like my overall brother, like my dog. Like, so we got like a 8-9 year relationship, but started from MySpace, and then he reached out again on Facebook, and then like fast forward time, like now we here. Like he single-handedly has been taking care of mad shit. Yeah. For me.
I mean, you touched on a lot of stuff in that story that we're gonna get into later. The fact that you show appreciation for your supporters, and then how you have UpperClass where you have a bunch of artists. So we're definitely going to dive into that stuff later. I kind of got us off topic because I want to finish this icebreaker section. So let's finish it with going back to being unhealthy, eating some like those crazy foods in the morning. What's something that you do to support your health?
Something that I do to support my health? I'm definitely in the gym crazy, probably like 5 or 6 days a week. I'm trying to eat cleaner. Like for sure. I still be eating some bullshit here and there, but I definitely am trying to eat a lot cleaner, and just overall staying active. And you know what? It's not even only about like physical health. Like I think it's mental too. You dig what I'm saying? Like my mental health, I'm trying to take a lot more care of and be more delicate with. So if it's anything from like I used to do like hot yoga. That helped a lot. Or just like having time to myself. Like I'm trying to get better at carving out time to simply just like focus on like Twan. That's why you stumped me with the hobby thing, is because I really don't be having like hobbies like that. I'm always just kind of like, I gotta get shit done. But that's a little unhealthy at the same time, like not knowing how to just like chill out and relax a little bit. So I say spiritual, heavy on prayer. My mom, my family just heavy on like believing in God and like putting God first, and counting my blessings. So I think it's all around. I think it's spiritual. I think it's mental and physical. So just staying like punctual with all three.
Yeah, that's a good balance. And last question I have is, what do you want an endless supply of?
What I want an endless supply of? I sound kind of capitalistic if I said money, but I say like good health and blessings and then money. Yeah.
That's a good answer. All right, we're going to get into the other questions. I guess I want to start off by asking, what are the things that you do?
What you mean? Like,
so you're a music artist,
in
obviously.
Career-wise?
Yeah, career-wise.
Oh, yeah, so musician first. And then fashion came like second. But the thing is like I always been fresh. Like I always was into clothes, but music just gave me like a voice. You dig? So like I was able to express myself, and kind of just tell my story, or tell the people around me, like tell their story too, who wasn't able to like kind of get their shit off. So I say those two are the like biggest things that I'm like 50-50 with and that I'm juggling. So yeah, music first, and then like designer and just like overall creative.
Yeah. I read a little bit about how you got into music, being that your mom was a promoter. So tell me, how did that transpire? How did you really gain this connection to music? And when did you start taking music seriously?
So the connection came from my mom's, as you read. I feel like I'm slouching. The connection came from my mom's, as you read. And she used to work with like older artists, so like Redman, Method Man, Lil Jon, Cash Money, who else? Like Sugar Hill Gang. Like she went all the way back. Fab. Like I got pictures with like Fab as a kid, all that shit. So it's just from being around her. She used to run around and do like a lot of party promoting and shit like that, or like concerts and everything like that. And she used to really keep me close. Like when I wasn't in school, I'd be around her in the summertime, like doing a lot of that shit. So I think that's what sparked it. Just being in that environment, I'm a true believer that a lot of things do start from your youth. So like the more you're around something, the more you might end up like adopting it. And then I say, I always was taking music seriously. It was just that like I didn't feel like it really started picking up for me up until probably like 2015ish, or like 2014, somewhere around there. But I was doing music for a minute, like since a kid. But I want to say around 2014, 2015 is when I found like that Twondon sound and style, and like how I wanted to like perceive myself to like the general public.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And in 2014, 2015, what were some of the things that you were doing? You were putting out singles, you were just really making beats. What were you doing?
Nah, so I tried making beats, but I ain't got the patience to make beats, to be honest. But 2014, 2015, we was heavy on like projects. Like, so my first big project was Stay Golden. That's what's like tattooed on my wrist. And it was executive produced by Smoke DZA. So when he got behind it, so I met DZA at a concert that was in Jersey. And then I met him again at another concert in New York. And then through Peso, we had a mutual friend, Peso, shout out to Peso, and he connected us. So DZA was on some like big bro shit, like put me under his wing. So everything that like at that time was, I was running around with him at Cinematic. I was running around with him at like Shade 45, like the radio stations. He had me around like Rosenberg from Hot 97. So DZA really kind of like helped break the mold a little bit in that time, like in that 2014, 2015 like period. And then Stay Golden is what like kicked off like the new Twondon sound, and I just started like running with that.
Yeah, you mentioned Stay Golden. That's an EP you produced. I read something about how was that the first project that you released?
No, that's the first like I want to say like popular like big project. Yeah. I had way more music out prior to that, cause like I was like getting my shit off like from where I'm from. Like I was like dropping like consistently. So I had my first ever project, bro, was a project called Where's My Crown? Like it was like 2011 or some shit. But as in like the one that set it off, like my rebrand, it was Stay Golden for sure. Yeah.
And then I read something about how you dropped a project and you didn't think it was received how you wanted it to be received, and this was before you dropped your sophomore album. I have the name right here. What's your sophomore album? It's Paradise Isn't Free.
Yeah, Paradise Isn't Free.
So that first project that you dropped, what do you think? Why did you not think it was received how you wanted it to be received?
I'm trying to think which one that was, because it wasn't Stay Golden. Stay Golden did super good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Where'd you read that at?
It was in one of the articles. I guess we can go to, when's a time that you had really high expectations, or that you were like kind of let down by the response, and how did you respond to that?
Project wise, like music,
anything,
life.
Yeah.
Okay, we getting deep. Shit. I mean, I had expectations of singles before that I thought would do very well. Cause here's the thing, like when you creating anything, like whether it's a song or like a collection or anything like that, like you always gonna feel like it's the best. Like this might be your best interview. This is my opinion, right? But when people watch it, or they could perceive it a whole nother way. You dig what I'm saying? So I used to get like that with certain singles that I really felt in my heart was like, yo, this gonna be the one. Or like an EP where I'm like, yo, this gonna be the one. But then when you put it out, it's like people gonna gravitate towards what they like. You dig what I'm saying? Like it's not even about you no more once it's in the public. So, excuse me, we had a few like collections like that, like a few clothing drops like that. Like I said, I had a series of singles that I'm just like, oh, I thought this might hit a little bit more. And then it's ones that you don't think is going to like do much or have much traction that ends up going like crazy. Like I got this song called like Don't Be Sorry. And like I rushed the cover and everything. Like I just snatched a photo that was on my phone, put a parental advisory sign on it, and like messed with the opacity or something like that on Photoshop and just put it out. And then my mans was like, yo, we ain't do no right planning behind it, this, that, whatever. I'm like, yo, I just think it's a hard-ass record. And then we just put it out, and that shit went crazy. Like, it went crazy. So I feel like at this point where I'm at now, I try not to even set no expectations. I try to just, like, create good shit and just give it to the world and how people perceive it. Like, they perceive it, yeah.
I want to go back to your team, UpperClass, and also just kind of the people that have helped you along the way because from my perspective, I'm also trying to build a team and I'm having like a really challenging time with it. So how would you say you've approached building your team and how did it even like initially start?
Man. Damn, bro. So, yo, G, get him out. Tell him out to come in here right quick. I'm sorry. Because like good. This is it's an intimate, it's a real important like little story time right here.
All right, so I want to go back to the topic of building out a team, UpperClass, and also just the creative team that you bring around you because with the position that I'm in, I'm really looking to build a team, but I'm having a difficult time doing it. So how would you say you've gone about approaching building your team?
All right, so check it, right? Everything with UpperClass, like, it was like stages of it. So the first inception like of UpperClass, it was called UpperClass Kids. It's when I was in middle school, and it was only about like getting fresh. Like you only could be down if you got fresh. That was like the entry to the shit. So after that, like we used to just be running around and just some like get fly shit. Got best dressed in middle school, all that shit, right? So after I started taking music a little bit more serious and all of that, I switched it to like entertainment, like UpperClass Entertainment. Like just to give it a more like professional like polishing on it or whatever the case may be. So everything with the brand, and it's the thing I be trying to tell people now is cause like they try to force their team, right? They try to like how you saying, like have a problem with it instead of like just doing the work and then it's gonna come to you. I'm grateful that, you know, I had people, friends first, who just like believed in what I was doing heavily and shit like that, and then we all like found a role and shit like that, right? So I won't name off anybody because then I feel like I might leave people out when I just start like naming people off and shit like that. But I feel like what helped me was just doing the work, like whether I had to do it by myself for a little bit and then eventually you start meeting people and you're gonna go through like phases. Remember I just told the story about like how when Liam reached out to me the second time, I didn't need a videographer. That's because we already had a videographer on deck. But I was like, yo, we could work in another capacity, or whatever the case may be. So I think it's just about doing the work, and then eventually, like, the people will start gravitating towards you, and you just got to make sure these individuals are really, like, for the cause. So me and Malk right here, Malk Boogie, we used to be in the same class together. Like, this shit, like, run deep. Like, he got it tatted on his arm, all that shit. Like, I just posted my boy the other day who had passed away. It was on his arm. I got it on my stomach. Like, my boy Derek got it on his arm. Tyler got it on his wrist. Another Tyler got it inside his arm. You would think it's like some cult shit, but you feel me? Yeah. So, like, it really run deep and it's deeper than rap. But me and him got cool in high school. We was in the same class. And then he found a position. I started doing like team parties and all that shit. I told you like how me and Liam got cool, bumping into him at Ben and Jerry's and shit, gave him a free CD. Always respected and always fucked with what I was doing. That's how we started like getting cool and shit and working together. G was trying to fuck with me for so long, and I just kept putting him off like, yo, yeah, we'll shoot. And then like as time went on, he just stayed persistent and we stayed in contact. Now this is like my go-to photographer, videographer, everything. My engineer, Brandon, same thing. See, my problem when I was younger, I was real like standoffish with shit. So like even my engineer right now, Brandon Plan B, who like does all my projects, was kind of like, yo, we gotta work. And I'd be like, yo, I don't need like none of that service right now, type of shit. But I feel like the way that people were so consistent and persistent with me is what led me to having like really firm people with the brand. It's because they just showed that like, yo, I fuck with your shit, I believe in what you're doing, and like we could really create some type of like magic behind like everything. So, bro, it's been about like a decade to really find like consistent people who believe in like what I'm doing. The benefit I had was just starting young. You feel me? So like I skipped past mad shit versus like now where it's like I'm trying to scramble and find like committed people. So everybody now grew with the brand. Everybody now know what the statement is and what we're trying to get across with it. And everybody now is in a position where they really taking the craft super serious and they had time to polish up on like their craft and shit like that. So I think it's gonna come with the consistency. It's gonna come with the hard work, and not to sound like too cliche and shit like that. It's gonna come with putting yourself out there and being open to letting people like want to fuck with your shit. Cause we all treat this shit like it's our baby. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna treat the podcast like it's your baby. So you're gonna be real, meticulous on who you have like around your shit. But you gotta trust that they know what they're doing and that they really for the cause and shit like that. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But these are my guys deeper than rap. Like it goes like deeper than clothing, all that shit. Like it goes like they been in my crib, they know my moms know them, all type of shit. We were just talking about we wrestling drunk as hell in the back, like putting it. But these are like my guys. We had studios together.
Border Patrol in Canada.
Yeah, we traveled, we went on tours together, all type of shit. Cali, fucking Canada. They fucked his bag up at the Canada border, all the type of shit, bro. So like. Yeah, interrogation rooms.
What happened in Canada?
So, yeah, this shit went from like some inspirational shit to some real shit. So in Canada, G, make sure you get this. Shout out to Canada though. I love Canada now, with all my heart, with most of my heart. So, so the first time I went to Canada to do like a small tour, it was probably like 2 shows in one day, and then the next day was another show, some shit like that. So, we all going up there excited as fuck. My boy driving up there, Malik, or whatever the case may be, 8-hour drive, just straight to Canada, from Jersey to Canada. So it's me, it's Liam, and my boy, and we get to the border. And, it's our first time there. And, as American, I think Canada in general is just really strict. So they do the whole random, check the card thing. So we had to pull the card to the side. And then we had to get out and sit in this little, I don't even know what to call that shit, like a little lobby or whatever the case may be. And it was running all our passports. So I don't know if I should even say this on the mic.
No, you can say it.
All right. So,
This is funny.
all right. So it's me, my boy, and my boy got his do-rag on, all that shit, whatever the case may be. And we damn, we about to get into some shit. Cause why they just want to randomly check us, right? And not to whatever, it's funny. But it's 2 black dudes and Liam. So we thinking we gonna get in some shit. They be like, Liam Eisenberg, and they called him over. So I'm like, oh, what the fuck Liam into that we ain't know about or some shit like that. So I think they pulled all our records up and shit like that. And Liam has some on his record, whatever. I won't say what, but Liam has some on his record. And they just questioned him did you do this? Did you do that? Whatever. But I think they was looking at it while questioning him to see if he was gonna front or not. And he kept it 100, and they let us rock. But when we got back in the whip, our shit was fucked up, bro. The suitcases, clothes was just tossed all over shit. Whatever was in the trunk got fucked up. They was just throwing shit around. I think they was trying to find some shit, and it was nothing in there to find. So that happened. And then when we coming back to America, we get to the border, we give them our shit, niggas say, yo, y'all got any guns in the car? We like, nah. Niggas say, all right, y'all good. Like, that was it, bro. Like, they just want to know we had some guns in the whip or some shit. But the Canada shit was like a great ass experience outside. I mean, that was whatever. But the actual like shows and the actual like environment, we had a fucking ball, bro.
But I'm just saying,
like,
moments like that, you get closer to each other.
Yeah, 100%. Because I did not know that shit about him. You dig?
Yeah.
So they could have sent our ass right back to Jersey and I would have been hot.
Yeah. You got a criminal in the car with you and you didn't know?
So like shit like that bring us closer, and just those experiences and those moments, like we be able to like talk back and share. We was all supposed to go out there post-COVID. Like the whole team was supposed to go out there for more shows. Like, but COVID had happened. I was still down to go. I was with the shits, like, nah, we still good or whatever. But everybody else was like, nah, they gonna close the borders. If we went and they closed the borders, it would have been bad. Yeah. We probably not now, but we definitely probably would have been out there for at least another year and a half, because they wasn't letting nobody out. Nobody in, nobody out. Canada wasn't playing no shit. Yeah. So that was a little like story.
No, I love that. One thing I want to ask you is, you're talking about touring, you're talking about going to different countries, you know, having these audiences. One question I stay persistent asking is, like, what do you want audiences to experience from your work?
I want them to, I really want them to see how much time, effort, and energy go behind everything. Like, even when I got shows, I'm rehearsing my ass off. Like, I'm on cue, I'm on point, I'm punctual with everything. Even with the clothes and the designs, like the rollouts, the marketing, the campaigns, the models that I use, the designs that I choose, the storytelling that I try. Like, there's a lot of, like, everything makes sense. Like, I'm not doing anything just randomly, you know? So I want them to always appreciate and always, like, know that whenever it's musical clothes and whenever I'm presenting something, that, like, my all, like, went into it, like, 1,000%.
Yeah. And would you say you want people to be, you know, more open to your story? Do you want people to be more motivated? What is the true kind of, like, motivation for putting out this work? Do you just want to entertain people? What's the purpose?
The purpose? The purpose is, like, really showing that it could be done on any level. Like I feel like whenever someone get into, like, music or fashion or anything, like, they feel like they gotta be the next, like, big thing, right? And that's good. Like, you should aspire to be the greatest at what you do. But, like, something I take pride in is showing that, like, yo, as long as you, like, believe in your craft and, like, you're really passionate, that, and you're consistent with it, because I feel like consistency, like, and, like, hard work beats anything. Like, you dig what I'm saying? That it could be done, but it got to be done on, like, your level of, like, success. Like, you got to determine that. Like, you want to be the next Hove, you want to be the next, like, Virgil, or whoever the case may be. Like, what's your level of success? But I feel like people don't go into it with that. Like, everybody go into it like, yo, I got to get $1 billion. Of course. But, like, at the same time, there's so many variables that got to align and so many stars that got to align for you to, like, put yourself in a position. So you could, like, manifest shit all day. Yeah, that's cool. But if you ain't really, like, putting yourself in a position or trying to get certain stars to align that's going to get you to that next level, I'm going to keep it 1,000. It ain't going to work, bro. Like, that's just some real shit. Like, it's not going to work. Like, niggas could write 1,000 songs or niggas could do 1,000 designs. But if you ain't putting it out there in the proper channels or in the proper way, it's just gonna fall on deaf ears. And I don't give a fuck how dope you are or how good you are with shit. Like, if you ain't aligning yourself with the right people to put you in a position to win, or the right team too, bro, that shit you just gonna be like a keyboard warrior or like a motherfucking, like, basement warrior. Like, your shit is just gonna be like on SoundCloud getting 40-something, 50-something plays and shit like that. And then you thinking that, like, you dropping, that people should attract themselves to it. But it's so much different things that go into really getting some shit out there. You dig? And I think that's, like, the big part that people gotta, like, really do the homework on. The music shit, the designer shit, the writing and recording, that's like 10-15% of the shit. You dig? So, like, it's like you really, really gotta kind of put more into, like, the creative side of, like, how you putting a product out. And if it's a good product, it's like the streets. If it's a good product, then, you know, the customer gonna keep coming back and shit.
Yeah.
Consumer.
And how do you measure your success, or like what is success to you?
I measure success by, I want to say like it got to be some consistent growth. I feel like that's all my like hustle been, all my grind has been. It's like it's been consistent growth. If you just doing the same shit and getting the same results, to me, I mean that's cool, but that's like you falling for complacency and like you falling from being like content and shit. Like I feel like as long as you keep trying to elevate whatever you're doing, whether it's graphic designing, whether it's like videography, podcasts and shit like that, like that's how you keep creating different levels of success. Like success to me is when you really able to like eat off your craft. You dig? Like when you could really like pay a bill off your craft, when you could really go out, don't have to worry about shit like that off your craft, when you could get fresh, buy shit off your craft, invest off your craft, like you know, open doors for other people. I feel like when you're in a position that you could give other people a layup, like if Malk hit me now talking about, like, oh, Twan, I want to like start X, Y, and Z. If I got the resources for that, I feel like that's a level of success because I could snap my finger and make some shit happen for my mans.
Yeah.
You dig? So like, for example, like my sister in the fashion, right? And she about to be 18 and shit. So when she get out of college, I want to have UpperClass set up great enough that when she graduate, that she could just call her brother and be like, is there an opening for me? Like that's like success to me, you dig? Like fly shit like that. So I think you gotta just like create your own version of that. Like 2 years from now, when I come back and do an interview for you, I don't want it to be like here. Like I want you to have your own little spot, your own little studio. Motherfuckers gotta, you know, yo, I'm here for Owen. Oh, give him 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Like that's what I want you on. You know, cause that's like consistent growth. And you my mans. Like if you Liam mans, you my mans now. You dig what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So whatever I could do to help and shit like that too. But same thing with Liam. Like I seen Liam like grow. Pause. I seen Liam. I know. It just came out. Pause. But I seen Liam grow like to where he at now, and that shit like warmed my heart. Like that's my man's, and we like grew a lot together. Even with G, like the way G shoot videos now versus when I first saw them. Nigga steady working on his craft, and to me that's like success because as long as you keep getting better and better. Like my man Smell Boogie, like I know what his aspirations are and I know what he want to do, and I feel like if I'm there and I'm able to help him, then like that's success to me because like I'm able to get my peoples like that's close to me like a layup. You did?
Yeah. No, I love that version of success. The fact that you've been able to build this community and also have these resources to be able to make things happen, give people these opportunities to really shine and prove themselves and not have to worry about like, oh, where's this next paycheck coming from, but really feeling stable and really feeling like you can take risks.
Facts.
And also just like reward people that have been in your corner. And what are some resources you're still looking to get? I mean, do you think you have everything that you need to be successful?
Nah, not for where I want to take things. I feel like I still need a lot of shit. I gotta shout out Mike too, Mike De Blasio, who does like PR for me on the music side. But I still need a ton of resources. So I'll give you an example, right? So like music, I've been like nurturing a lot more than fashion, and I look at them like babies. You dig what I'm saying? So I feel like me trying to break into fashion, it's like It's like, all right, so I'm building like a healthy community like with UpperClass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the people who support what I do with the clothing side, like it's beautiful. Like the clothing sell out within like a week every time. And you know, we got billboards, all that shit, we got press, everything. But I just feel like the resources in fashion is just a little bit tougher because you know, it's more like it's a little bit more controlled. You know what I'm saying? Like music, you could break in because like it's not at this point. It's not too many like more like gatekeepers. Like there's still like gatekeepers in fashion. Like there's still people who could prevent you to reaching certain levels. And I'm learning like the vocabulary and I'm learning like the vernacular of how to deal with people in fashion. Because people treat fashion. We was talking about some street shit. people treat fashion on some real street shit. Like when it come to like plugs and everything like that, like nobody really share resources in fashion like that. You dig what I'm saying? So I feel like that's something I'm really, really trying to like break the barrier down. And I'm not gonna go on no houseway rant with you on some Kanye shit, but like it's sometimes it is a little more like difficult and tough with that, because even with fashion, it's just so much easier for people to like copy you and jack your style, and like there's no real protection when it comes to like designing and shit like that, versus music, how it's copyrights and everything like that, and like certain things is dated a little bit more better to where people can't like steal from you as easy. People could steal from you in any field, but it's just the level of like how can I say, like the level of it is different versus music and fashion. So that's like a challenge that I'm facing right now with shit.
Yeah, trying to get access to resources in fashion.
In that world, yeah.
Definitely not an easy thing to navigate. And what makes you want to keep designing clothes? Is it the fact that you want to be able to connect with your audience better, like on multiple levels beyond just putting out these digital audio and stuff like that?
I feel like it's another form of expression for me. Like I said, I always like getting fresh. I always was into clothes. I always just like being like clean. I do believe in like your first impression. You dig? So like, you meet somebody for the first time, they gonna look from the bottom and then up, like what shoes you're wearing and how you put yourself together, whatever the case may be. So I think it's another form of expression. And then I just feel like I'm using a different part of my brain when I'm like creating and when I'm like designing shit, like I get to get a little bit more imaginative. Like I'm into like what I got into more is just like using more colors, using more like in-depth styles of doing like embroidery or like direct to garment or screen print and stuff like that. So it's just another challenge for me, like just how creative and how like out there I could be when it comes to like designing. And then I bring everything to Liam, who actually does the digital side of it. So everything is just coming from like my brain and everything like that, and he's actually like bringing it to life. And then we get everything done in Jersey to where it's like actually being sold and like to the public and shit like that.
Yeah. I know you talked about rebranding yourself and putting out, that first EP and really trying to like focus on a direction. So how would you say you find direction? Like what are you looking for, and like what are you looking to maybe put out there that aligns with the direction that you're going in?
It took me a minute. We were just laughing about it in the car, because I was like, a lot of shit that people doing now, I was kind of like doing that shit a little earlier, like in my career and shit, like the Jersey club sound and shit. Even the way they laughing because they know, like, bro, I was like on that shit. Even like the way like motherfuckers is dressing and shit, like I was been wearing like skinny jeans and like fitted shit, and like I colored my hair at one point on some weird shit. And I like everybody started doing the same shit. And then, it took me some time to find like, who I am now with like the music shit and just like anything as a whole. But I don't know, when it comes to direction, I feel like I finally like, it took trial and error, but like right now I got the formula. And all I gotta do is stay consistent with the formula, and then the right people and the right audience will keep attracting to me. And then before we know it, UpperClass would be a 6, 7-figure, 8-figure brand. I just can't veer off track. Like I know everything I gotta do right now, and I know there's no rush to do it. And eventually I'm gonna execute everything I gotta execute and get it to where I wanna be. So I feel like I'm not finding direction a little bit. I mean, when it comes to like inspiration, I'm always inspired by like, my environment. If that would answer the question in the sense of direction. But I feel like I really found a formula and a direction I want to take the brand already, and I just got to stick with that shit right there, and I won't lose.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible that you're finding this support and this atmosphere that really guides you to where you want to go. And I remember reading in some of the articles out there about you the fact that there's some people out there that you admire. One person in particular is like Nipsey Hussle. I feel like
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle, yeah. I feel like that's somebody that I definitely can see kind of your story aligning with. The fact that
Thank you, bro.
this clothing brand and this
Rest in peace,
this
Nip,
message, yeah, this message that you're trying to promote. What do you admire about him, or who is somebody that you admire, and what do you really like see in them that you want to be able to see in yourself?
I think with Nip, what I admired is just like everything I'm mentioning now is the way he juggled both music and clothing and just investing into himself and like really making it bigger than just rap and really making it bigger than music. Like really being a person that, you know, people found accessible. Like you could go see him, you could go touch him, you could go have this conversation with him, and he was always approachable, and that's something I wanted to start getting better with too. Cause like I told you, like when I was younger, I was a bit like more standoffish, but I just love how he became like a man of the people, and how like he really just gave back to his community. Cause like down the line, that's something I see myself doing for my town and for my city too. So that was like the like some of the big things that I took from that, from him. And inspiration, I say honestly, bro, like, anyone that kind of, you know, anybody who kind of just give off that same message, man, just like making it like bigger than rap and making it bigger than music, and really just like what you gonna be remembered for when it's all said and done. Like I said, like you could write 1,000 songs, you could do 1,000 different drops and, you know, collections of lines, but like, what are people gonna really say about you, you know, when you put that shit aside? Like, you know, were you a good person? Like, were you easy to work with? Were you a dickhead? Like, was you an asshole? Like, what are people really gonna say about you when it's all said and done? And then what lives did you change, like, while you was here type shit? Or at least try to change for the most part.
Yeah. I think this is a great segue into the next question, which is, what do you want to be known for?
Just like legacy, bro. Like when it's all said and done, I just want like people to know that Twan did everything in his power to not only change like his life, but like everyone around him as well. And then that, you know, Twan left off like a very important like blueprint to follow. Like I said, like I want to be able to be more accessible and be more like someone for the people. So like in the sense of like, yo, if he could do it or if he did it, like I could do this shit too. And it may sound like, you know, mad basic or cliche, but that's real shit. It's just that some people become so inaccessible that you just feel like they too far out of reach. Like they kind of make it feel like you can never reach that level. But I feel like the way I want to take shit and the way I'm going to take shit is that like motherfuckers will always know, like how you just brought up Nip, that like I feel like my name would be in certain conversations too when it comes to like people who pioneered certain shit and laid like a blueprint out on how to really execute shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Are there any projects that you have planned right now? What do you have in the works right now? What do you want to see happen in the future?
So I am almost done with this album. I'm not gonna say the name because I feel like if I say it, then I don't know. I feel like either somebody gonna steal the shit or it might just start popping up somewhere. But I'm gonna do a listening session. You invited. Everybody in here invited.
Appreciate it.
So that's gonna be like close to probably like to fall winter type shit. It's all gonna be mixed and mastered by Plan B, Brandon. I'm probably gonna go down there to Atlanta to record it. So yeah, and then obviously we're gonna keep dropping shit with the clothes. Last collection went crazy that we dropped, like the summer drop went insane, sold out in less than a week. And then just started lining shit for 2024. To be honest, I already know how I'm gonna finish the rest of the year out. And then as soon as January 1st, 2024 start, we just gonna like get into the program. So definitely a project dropping, more clothes, and then we just gonna keep doing like a lot more fly shit as a whole.
Yeah. Well, we've definitely kind of rounded out the questions, but I got like one more question since you were kind of talking about all this stuff that you have planned. It's in the morning when you wake up, you know, how do you find or what do you try to do to like figure out what you're going to do for that day? You know, like how do you set your intentions?
I got a to-do list, bro.
Yeah.
Damn, G got my phone. I got a to-do list, bro. I write a to-do list the night before on like what I need to get done the day, like the next day. and I just start checking shit off throughout the day. That shit has helped me immensely because sometimes I just be like, shit just like skip my, like I just forget to do shit. But yeah, I dead just follow a to-do list on my phone. And I don't know, every day I wake up, I say, we gotta get to this bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's it.
I mean, that's definitely really helpful for me. That's something that I do, but
We gotta get to this bread.
I do the day
push-ups in, bro.
Push-ups.
Yeah,
bread.
we gotta
Alright.
put that pain in, bro. You dig? Cause that shit is meant to. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. That shit get your mind right. And like, I wish I been started. My man's Liam, work out together, all that shit. He been trying to get my shit right, but that shit is like so much clarity, bro, and just like you feel so good after. Then you take a shower, eat, and you really feel like you could conquer the day. Like, I feel like I could run for mayor, my nigga, after I like you get a good workout in type shit. You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really kind of like left off talking about something that's really a valuable lesson and a valuable thing to follow. You know, waking up, having direction for the day. Are there any other pointers you want to leave people with? What's a message that you have for somebody wanting to do something similar to what you've been doing, or just someone trying to get their life started and really trying to find purpose?
I say, don't be afraid to invest in yourself in all avenues. The time, the money, people. Like, don't be afraid to put the bread up. Don't be afraid to lose the bread. I know it's easier said than done because everybody's situation is different, but surround yourself around really like-minded people. Understand that it's gonna be days that you say like, fuck this shit, because I still had those days. But once you invested so much, you find yourself being in too deep that you force yourself to be like, yo, it gotta work. You dig what I'm saying? And when you're so passionate about something, like that's how I feel. Like, yo, it has to work. Like, and it's gonna work. So I say, don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Surround yourself around good people. Keep the passion, and find, you know what, too, what's really important, because this shit be knocking people off a track. We get so fucked up with social media that we start comparing ourselves to so many different people and shit, you dig? But if you just find your lane, bro, I'm telling you, anybody, I'm looking at the camera on this one, on niggas, find your lane and really find your audience, and you won't lose, bro. It's people out here is getting money. It's people out here who's really living off their craft, and you couldn't point them out in the street. I feel like people want to go, you know, to get the name, the face, the fame so much, they forget about what's really important. Find your lane with this shit. Find your lane with this podcast. G found his lane with video. Like, just find your lane. Even like I told Liam the other day, he sent me some. I said, yo, you know what the dope shit is about your art now? That if I didn't know you and I started seeing that shit consistently somewhere, I'd be like, oh, that's Liam shit.
Yeah.
Because it just gives off a certain like he just found his own thing with this shit, like a certain identity, I should say. So I feel like once you get that, like someone sent me a message on IG saying like, yo, I saw another brand by in your design style, you're on the right page. But to me, it's just like every great brand or every great entrepreneur, every great just like platform found a demo and found a lane, and they just stuck to that shit. It's when you start trying to be too many things at once that it's not gonna work for you. And like I said, that's just the real. Like, don't try to do too much shit. Don't try to cater to everybody. Just find your lane, dog, and stay in that lane, and then get that chicken, and you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely could not have said that better, and I feel like there's really nothing else I can say to leave off this podcast, because I think you've pretty much said it all.
This was fast. I wanted to keep going. Pause. But this was a fast podcast, bro. You was asking good shit.
Thank you.
Like, really good shit.
Yeah.
And you did your homework. What I said in the car, I was like, I hope he did his homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for being here. Jay, Malk, Liam, everybody. So thank you so much.
Ray, look, he forgot for a second.
I mean, I didn't want to. I didn't know if we were mentioning everybody's name. Is there anybody else you want to shout out?
I don't want to pick people off, because then if I forget, niggas gonna get tight. So just everybody involved with UpperClass, everybody who ever like shared, purchased, word of mouth, liked, comment on anything that I've ever done. Shout out to them. Shout out to Mom Dukes, Mama Twondon, and you know, just and shout out to me. Shit, shout out to myself.
Yo,
I'm out here doing great shit.
All right,
and you, bro.
Thank you.
Shout out to Owen.
I don't want to leave this out I'll definitely have it in the episode notes. So how can people connect with you? What's the Instagram? What's, Spotify? What's that?
Everything is UpperClass Twan on socials, and then it's Twondon on like IG. I mean on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that shit. Yeah.
All right. Everybody go check him out.
And
Definitely
then,
a lot of great stuff coming from him.
And then UpperClassInternational.com, but INTL. So UpperClassINTL.com for the clothes and the apparel and shit like that.
Yeah, I'll have that link. So everybody go check him out and show him some love and support. Thank you so much.
Got you, bro.
Yeah.
Anytime. Yes, sir. 2 years, different office, different platform, all that shit.
That's the vision. Let's go.